Well, they're not the best team that U.S. can field. You know, probably will not be as good as the team that they send to Paris next year. But and none of these players have ever played FIBA before, so they're at that disadvantage. However, they have great camaraderie. They are built to maximize a style. That style has worked most of the time. It has troubles. They are small. Frankly, the best big men in the NBA are not American. So they have a choice between taking big men that are not at the best, or they're going to get outplayed, or they can lean into a style that fits the talent that they have, and they've taken that route. And they're betting that that style will end up working over the course of this tournament. Maybe they're right, maybe they're wrong, but they definitely have assembled a roster with a plan in mind, and they have fit their roles. And I think they've really had great camaraderie as a team. Honestly, I think if Jokic were here, they would be the favorites to win because they've played pretty well as a team. If I'm not mistaken, they're kind of playing without a point guard, right? Because Vasilij Micić did not play. Jokic is not here. I know that Stefan Jovic is handling the ball some, but there's no true point guard. So you have two great Serbian ball handlers who are not here, and I guess Teodosic's national career team is done. I know there was some drama there. I don't know everything, but he is not here. So they're managing without. They're playing very well. Obviously, Nikoli Joviću has been a revelation. He's a very exciting player. Erik Spoelstra, who is here with Team USA, has been very excited about watching him. He is a tremendously exciting talent, a player of that size, with that skill. Might not even be done growing. We'll see it when they measure him when he comes back. He's taller. You know, I have a personal great affinity for Bogdan. I think Bogdan's work ethic is terrific. I know that he had a rough game here, from what I understand, and talking to my friends who are in Belgrade. He got beat up a little bit for maybe shooting a little bit too much. I didn't see the game. You know, the Serbians, that game was the same time as an American game. So I didn't see that game, but I heard about it. But I would bet on Bogdan delivering when it matters. So, you know, I was in China in 2019 when I thought the Serbians were winning. And obviously it was a huge disappointment. And then the US played Serbia, and I know Serbia won that game, but neither of them really, it was a kind of a meaningless game. This year the Serbians came in with less expectation because Jokic didn't play. And so if they can somehow get an Olympic bid, get Nikola to Paris, anything is possible. So certainly they want to try to win, and there's 6 European teams left. This is going to be very difficult. But whatever they can do over this next week and then next spring to get themselves to Paris, they will have a shot at gold if Nikola plays. He probably could play more minutes. So here's the thing, I am betting on the Miami Heat. I am betting on the Miami Heat developing a player. They have done this for decades. Probably one of the most amazing stories that I heard last year was that Nikola had to take time off to finish his high school exams, which just reminded us of how young he is. And so when you see him, when I saw him in the playoffs, he would work out before the games. You can't believe how big he is and how skilled he is. So this is the prototypical player that you want in today's NBA, a guy who is that big with this much skill. So frankly, I have very high expectations for him because of his skill, because he's playing for the Heat, and because of what I see them do here in the Philippines. I think it would be better for him if he stayed in Miami, but the Heat play to win today. Pat Riley plays to win today, and if they have an older team, if they make a trade to help them try to win now, I'm not going to blame them. But there is no way I am doing a deal with the Heat where I don't get Jovic. Jović has to be in this deal. And you know, the Heat have done a very good job of drafting guys in that spot and then turning them into star players. I don't know what will happen with him, but he is definitely one of the guys. He almost was like, in America we say a red shirt year. He kind of had a red shirt year. And so what happens with red shirt years is sometimes the guy comes back and is a lot better. I would expect that. And I actually wonder if there is no trade before the season and then the Miami fans see Jović play and he plays really well, I wonder if there's going to be a different feeling about how a trade might go. I was too young. I was not really following it, but I certainly remember that the U.S. finished in 6th place. But you know, obviously that was I had the opportunity to get to know Serbian players when I was young in the NBA, and you know, I still think about what it would be like, you know, to be honest with you, and I know this is politically, I'm not talking about politically, if there could be a Balkans team that could be put together to, like in the in-season tournament, if you could put a Balkans team together and play the U.S. team, how are you beating that team, you know? And so I've known for a long time about, and I was so impressed with, and I think it made an impression on the NBA players during the bubble, the way the players from the Balkans stayed, you know, went together. So it would be amazing if there was if there could be a Balkans team that could play an American team, play a French team, or whatever. Like even if he was just Serbia and Montenegro still. You know, think about that entry here. Again, I know that I'm not saying politically, I'm just saying like when I first started in the NBA, it was Serbia and Montenegro. So I've just seen Montenegro almost beat the US. I've seen Serbia beat the US, so you know, it is what it is. I think FIBA basketball in many ways is much more advanced than NBA basketball. There's so many things that FIBA does that the NBA probably should adopt. But FIBA basketball is not designed to be the maximum entertainment, whereas NBA basketball is. And so if you're a basketball purist, you cannot stand when you see NBA players move their feet on a drive. But if you want to enjoy a game on a Tuesday night in January when it's freezing, what do you care? You know, so the NBA is designed to be more entertaining, and therefore it is a bigger league. FIBA is designed to be better for the game of basketball, and therefore is better for a basketball purist, but not as entertaining. I respect the FIBA game, I prefer the NBA game, but I respect the FIBA game a lot. And frankly, if you look at over the last 15 years, the NBA game has moved more towards FIBA. Like, there's no way you can watch how Lithuania played against the Americans and not admire that as an achievement in the playing of basketball. That said, if that team played in the NBA, they would not do well and nobody would watch them. So we have both things. We can celebrate Lithuania and we can also celebrate the Los Angeles Lakers. This is going to be a great opportunity for Darko. You know, I met Darko for the first time when he was an assistant on the Serbian national team in 2019. And I'm very close with another assistant from that team, Adam Talatovic, who works for the Knicks and lives in Belgrade and keeps me abreast of what's going on in Serbia. There's a number of NBA scouts who live in Belgrade, by the way. It's a hub. I think it's a great opportunity for Darko. I don't know what the Raptors are going to be. I don't know if they're going to go this direction or that direction. I have a lot of respect for him. I respect his path. I respect anybody who is a foreign-born coach who comes over and earns the respect of American players. This is very difficult. You know, Jordi Fernandez, who's coaching the Team Canada right now, who's an assistant with the Kings, he's going to be a head coach someday. But I also understand the pressure that's on Darko. You know, when David Blatt came to coach the Cleveland Cavaliers, even though Blatt's an American, he's really not seen as an American. He's really seen as a product of the EuroLeague. He handled it a certain way, it did not go well, and I think it set back, even though he's American, it set back the concept of the forward coach. You know, part of the reason why I think Ettore Messina didn't get a chance was because it didn't go well with Blatt. Not that that's fair. So Darko has a great chance to maybe pave the way for other European coaches. Like I have enormous respect, for example, for Dimitrios Itoudis, coach of Greece, who won 2 EuroLeague titles with CSKA. I think he could coach in the NBA, but it's hard to hire him. But if Darko does really well, and it's going to be hard because they're going to do things. I don't know what Toronto's going to do, but if Darko does really well and Jordy gets hired and he does really well, it can open up for more, European coaches. Maybe, the thing is, I would have been interested to see Šarūnas Jasikevičius because he was very successful, but his temperament was not for the American game. I don't think Šarūnas would have succeeded in America because of his temperament. I do think that Darko has a temperament. I'm a little bit worried about it, though, is that the Raptors are stuck in between. And if they tip one way or the other, he could get blamed. So I have faith in him. I believe in him. I mostly believe in his background. If you look at what he's done, I believe in his background. But he's kind of in a pressure situation, not only for his own career, but he's sort of coaching for the reputation of, Eastern European coaches. Whether that's fair or not, that's the way the NBA is. The NBA is a copycat league. So if he's successful, they will say, who can we get as the next Darko? So that's just the reality.